Welcome to the Quantum Legacy series, where we revisit the original shortwave radio broadcasts of Dr. Robert Marshall, founder of Quantum Nutrition Labs. These episodes are a window into the early days of clean, quantum state nutrition, a philosophy that still drives everything we do at QNL today. Please note, this is archival content. Any product mentions, pricing, or special offers discussed may no longer be valid. Let's dive into this timeless broadcast and explore the legacy that helped shape the future of natural health.
Dr. Marshall's comments have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Welcome to Healthline Now, hosted by world-renowned clinical nutritionist Dr. Robert Marshall, PhD, of Quantum Nutrition Labs. He believed that the secrets of optimal health lie not within costly techniques, but in the body's own theorized energy field. Using these concepts, Dr. Marshall touched the lives of countless people throughout the globe with this effective and insightful nutritional system, a methodology he coined as the quantum nutrition effect. Don't miss this nutritional legend whose insightful ideas revolutionized natural health care. To speak with an experienced representative regarding your own health concerns, please call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and weekends, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We hope you and your loved ones can experience the quantum nutrition effect. Please join us for Healthline Now with Dr. Marshall.
Welcome to Healthline Live. We're here to answer your nutrition and health-related questions. Today, we have our coral calcium powder and our coral calcium capsules, and these are excipient-free, no weird chemicals or agents used to help get the supplement into the capsule. And the capsule, of course, will be a vegetable capsule. So if you're taking this long-term, you're not getting anything that might hurt you long-term, as you might get in many, many other products. So that's number one. But most important is coral is perhaps the most efficient, easy way to move your first morning urine pH. And you know, as long as that pH is acid, you're in a much faster pace. Your body is aging, and you're losing the capacity to produce B cells, which convert to red or white cells, which are the essence of your life. So people that are going to osteopenia and osteoporosis, this is much more serious than most people understand. And it's something you've got to get fixed. The earlier you fix it, the easier it is to fix. You take a child, all you'll ever need probably is a little coral calcium powder, and that child is going to be able to hold the perfect first morning urine pH, which would be in the green zone, which would be 6.4 to 7.0. That's the ideal first morning urine pH. And boy, I use this just about every single day. When I'm on the road, I go to capsules. I'd stock up on this because this is something you should use on a day in and day out basis. And then our Coral Calcium Plus capsules, 90 caps. This is what I use when I'm on the road and I can't measure something out and make a mixture. It's too difficult. And this, of course, not only has the great coral, but it's also got agents that support healthy immune response, very important when you've already shifted toward osteopenia. And of course, if you've shifted all the way to osteoporosis, now your bones you may need more than the Coral Calcium Plus. You may need our bone and joint support. These two are a great, great step, and I use them day in and day out. I think you're going to love it. Give a buzz to our order line, 800-370-3447, 800-370-3447. All right, this is Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD. This is Healthline Live. Let's go to Steve in Chicago, and he's got a question about our Quantum Tranquility Complex. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't understand what you mean when you say the Ziziphus is good every other year.
That means when the crop grows, 1 year, the crop is fully biochemically active as an agent to promote great neurotransmitter function. The next year, it's like nothing. It has no biological activity.
Okay.
And somebody figured that out. That's one smart guy. Okay.
So do you use the one that's
only the active year?
Only the active year, I hope. Yeah.
I guarantee it. Okay.
And then the Tranquility Complex, does that help set the REM sleep?
Yes, it's like a neurotransmitter reset. It usually takes 10, 12 days before you notice it, and usually you only need to buy 1 or 2 bottles, and the job is done. Now, if you're on some kind of prescriptive med and you're working on with your doc to get off it, you might end up taking another month or so of it. But otherwise, 1 or 2 months is usually the perfect use for that, okay?
Could I take your melatonin too on top of that, or is that too much?
Well, melatonin is different. This is for REM sleep. Melatonin is a reset of circadian rhythm, and it is so important for the antioxidant activity at every cell in the body. It's one of the only guys that gets to everybody. See, when you have fancy antioxidants like CoQ10 and others, they're going to get to a lot of cells, but not to all of them. But melatonin is going to get to every cell in your body. Okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a good
evening. All right. This is Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD. This is Healthline Live. We're answering your nutrition and health-related questions. Let's go to Stephanie in San Mateo, California, and she's concerned she's got a dark spot on her lips. All right. Are you there, Stephanie?
Hi there.
Yeah, hi. How old a woman are you, and how much do you weigh?
50, and I weigh 150.
Okay, and how long have you had this dark spot?
I've had it for about a year, and I was doing that coconut pulling, and with the good coconut oil, and I was doing it too often. I did like twice or 3 times a day. I overdid it. And I don't know if my mouth was toxic or what, but it had, I remember, that's all I remember. After that, I got a cold sore up there.
Yep.
The cold sore, went away. And then I had, then I still have this brown spot from the cold sore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, are there any dark spots on your skin, on your face, anywhere else?
Maybe on my hands.
On your hands, but not on your face?
No, not really. No.
Okay. Well, it's possible that this is a melanin issue, and this may have something to do with your age, and you may not have induced this yourself. This may have just naturally have occurred, okay? So I think that you may not want to beat yourself up too much. My suspicion is that, as is very common as we get older, that the food you're eating is not delivering enough antioxidants for your body. You need to jump on something like melatonin, maybe also on some of our vitamin C, but even better yet, maybe some of the Delta Boost, so that you've got the nutrition that provides the antioxidant the body really needs. They did a study in 2005, actually several studies, that showed that the antioxidant content of American food had declined 50% from 1980 to 2005. And so we are then susceptible to more of these weird little, this is called AGEs, or advanced glycation end products, where they stick together. So one of the things you want to try to avoid is anything cooked over the boiling point, and anything that contains white sugar or refined sugar of any kind. Those two things really encourage this, okay? Now, given, is that the only possibility? No. There's another possibility that you might need to support the pituitary. Pituitary is the only gland that runs 24 hours a day. And if you exhaust this by not sleeping well, by high stress, by very irregular schedules, you may also begin to see melanin spots on your face or hands or elsewhere. And so there are potentially two sources. So you might want to look at both of those. My concern for you at your age would be that you make sure you can digest and absorb your food. And at your age, if you're not taking digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid, the odds are you cannot digest your food well. So you need, at your body weight and your age, probably 2 Quantum Digest. That's a pancreatic enzyme with pepsin that can be a super help for digesting your food. And you would take those at the start of a main cooked meal. So if you just ate a couple pieces of fruit, you wouldn't take anything. But once you go to cooked food, if it's a main cooked food meal, that's when you'd want a couple of these Quantum Digest. And then the end of the meal, anywhere from 3 to 4 betaine hydrochloride. And now you're digesting more like you did in your 20s, and you don't have rotting food running around that can partake in this dark spot formation via ages. So these are some things that you can do right now. And of course, to me, the single most important thing you could ever do is to monitor your first morning urine pH and force that into the green zone, 6.4 to 7.0. And when you do that, now you've got what I call close to ideal physiology, and you can expect a long, healthy, good-looking life. So convert the little spot on your lip to a great advantage for yourself. Okay? Are you there? Will we lose Stephanie? Okay. All right. This is Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD. This is Healthline Live. Let's go to Laura in New York, and she's got some ringing in both ears. Are you there, Laura?
Yes, I am,
And
Doctor.
how old a woman are you, and how much do you weigh?
58 and 125.
Okay. Well, and when did this start? How long ago?
It's probably been about 2 years.
Yep. Well, the two things that are critical. Number one is your bone metabolism. So that's the most likely problem. So you get a roll of pH paper, and you get coral and D3 gold. You get these guys, and you start out with a half teaspoon of the coral, and you up it every 3 or 4 days as you recheck your first morning urine pH. And your goal is to get that pH into the green zone, 6.4 to 7.0, okay?
And that's just to facilitate the absorption,
That's
correct?
to make sure that the body has what it needs to provide you with soft tissue calcium reserve. What happens in the ears is two problems. One is bone, and it's very sensitive to that, and the other is the nerve itself, okay? And the fact that it's bilateral is happening in both ears. It tells you that it's definitely a systemic issue. It's something going on in the body, and we've got to find it. So my first step is always the pH, especially for a female, especially at your age. I would also say that at your age, digestion is going to be a challenge, and it can continue to keep the pH acid if the food is rotting every time you eat.
No, I take the enzymes
Oh, you
and
do.
the hydrochloric acid.
And you
yeah.
can see a huge difference when you use those, can't you?
Right, yes.
Yeah. All right, so you've got that. We won't worry about that. Then the other side of this is, of course, the nerve. And what I would do is get on DHA first, and maybe you'll take 5 at your main meal and give that about 3 to 4 weeks and see if the combination of these two, especially if you can get the pH to go. Now, Laura, you may have a rotten tooth, you may have a gum problem, you may have some other chronic problem that uses up the minerals as fast as we put them in. You're going to find that out. If that's the case, then you may need other support for kidney or parathyroid, which are the controllers of bone, so that the body can use the minerals and bring you back up to speed. The beauty of having this problem is that it's a blessing, actually, because it's warning you that you are in trouble right now, and if you can fix it right now, you can go to 98 probably feeling as good or better than you do today. But if you don't fix it, you're going to watch a cascade of ever-escalating things going wrong with the body. And it's not fun. And if you've watched your parents or other friends, it's very scary. So if you don't want something like that, this is what you want to do. And, of course, if I were you, I'd also jump on the biofield diet and take advantage of all the things that have been learned in the last 70 years about food.
I actually have started on that, and I wondered if can you take like the cardio PG when you're drinking your water in the morning, or should you?
Oh,
not
sure,
bother
absolutely,
with
no
that?
problem
Okay.
at all, absolutely. So let's hope that you don't have to support kidney or parathyroid, but if you do, of course, typically the support for the parathyroid would be some chlorella, 1 or 2 capsules, and then of course for the kidney itself, we have DHA, and we also have kidney support, which is even stronger. So those things are all available so that you can get that bone metabolism working the way it's supposed to. And when you do, wow, now you've got a lease for a long, strong, healthy life. Holding that pH, what I tell people when I see them when they see me for a consultation is the most important thing is that we get you to a first morning urine pH that you hold steadily 6,470. And when you do that, you don't need me anymore, and you're going to be achieving and enjoying your best health. Okay?
Okay, and can you measure that first morning? If sometimes I do wake up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, would I measure it then, or
No.
when I get up at 5 a.m.?
It's when you rise for the day.
Okay. Very
Okay, even if you pee several times in the evening, it doesn't matter. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye now. All right, let's go to Julie, and she had her last period. It took 35 days. Is that a long time for you, Julie?
That's the first time I've ever had that last that long.
And how old a woman are you, and how much do you weigh?
41 and about 97 pounds.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that you're for sure within 10 years of menopause. And so things are going to get funky. My favorite thing to do follows what Dr. John Lee used to recommend. He spent his life studying progesterone and estrogen, and he was a very anti-estrogen fan because even when you hit menopause, at the dregs, you have only a decline of 35 to 50%. But when you're within 10 years of menopause, the progesterone drops to 1/120th. That's less than 1%. And so now your normal defense to conjugate the estrogens at the liver is gone. So if you're doing a lot of exercise, if you don't overeat refined oils, if you have a nice clean gallbladder, you're going to be able to handle it without PMS or without weird perimenopausal symptoms. But the smart thing that I think Dr. Lee has recommended is to get on a progesterone cream. And when you use this, at your stage, you would use it morning and night, a 1/4 teaspoon, and you would do that day in and day out, but not days of menses, okay? And after 2 months, you would cut to AM only.
Okay.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go right back to the phones. Let's go to Amanda in Colorado. Let's see, Amanda in Virginia, and she's got some thinning hair. Are you there, Amanda?
Yes, I am.
And how old a woman are you? How much do you weigh?
I'm 69,
Mm-hmm.
and I weigh about 144.
Okay. Well, where is the hair thinning? Over the whole head?
No, mostly on the left side. It's kind of odd, but not too much. And the hair is I noticed my hair is kind of elasticy.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a health doctor, and she tried Synthroid, she tried natural thyroid, all these things. None of it worked.
Well,
and now I haven't had anything or been doing anything. And whereas my thyroid was swollen for a long time, for several years, now it's not.
Wonderful.
I know,
Well, maybe
so
you're eating a little more fish and getting a little more iodine, so your thyroid doesn't need to swell up so much to try to get that iodine.
Okay.
And getting on some sea vegetable concentrate like our Xeno-X, maybe taking 3 of those a day, might make sure that day in and day out you've got plenty of iodine so that you're able to maintain what the thyroid needs. Where you're living in Virginia, you're not exactly in the goiter belt where there's no iodine, but you're close.
Okay.
So and you may be eating more fish now, which can make a big difference. Now, in my take on the hair, the way you're describing it, I would be much more concerned about an injury or trauma to the left side of the body because it's mostly left-sided. Now, commonly at your age, the most common cause for the hair to thin like that is that the gallbladder is not at its best structure and function. So going on a little bit of, at your body weight, maybe 3 teaspoons per day of gallbladder PG might just give you a much nicer, easier time going off to sleep and much more oil to your hair and to your skin so that the drying effect, which may be triggering the hair thinning, would be minimized. But knowing it's left side, I think you're going to need to find out if you've sustained a blow or trauma to the left side of your head, maybe as a small child. You may not even be aware of it. But once that's mud packed, the energy flows freely through there, you may see just a number of changes because these interference fields that act for a long, long time have the ability to choke the life out of key organs and glands.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't have, I had Lyme's about 5 years ago. I had 2 years of really good treatment and lots of prayer, and I've really gotten so well. But what I did do is have my gallbladder out during that time.
Yes.
Because they were concerned that sometimes it stores the Lyme.
Wow.
And maybe it did, so maybe that's why I'm well. But anyway, so I don't even have a gallbladder.
Okay, so that's definitely a major factor in the hair thinning.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, so because you can't absorb oil as well. And so
Right.
usually what happens is one of 2 things. You get very thin and wrinkly, or you get very fat because you absorb the oil and store them as fat from the large intestine. So in either case, I don't like door number 1 or door number 2, so we really need to make door number 3. And unfortunately, you got to make it. And so you'd go on gallbladder PG. Now you're going to clear the bile veins because the gallbladder's gone. And you would use that for about 4 months. And after 3 weeks, you would start 2 coffee enemas per week. Nothing I have ever seen in my lifetime gives more beautiful hair and skin, and you do that for 13 weeks.
Now, I have been doing those. I haven't been so good at it lately. Maybe that's the reason with the hair.
Oh, yeah.
Because I
But
used to do them,
the reason you
twice
have...
a week. Okay.
did you ever use synthetic hormones?
I do. I take
Okay,
Rem
then
Pro.
I'm going to have to finish with you off the air because I need a minute here. But I can tell you that that may have created a B6 dependency, which may have led to this whole problem. Just stay right there, and I'll be back with you in just a little bit, okay? All right. This is Dr. Bob Marshall. We're almost out of time. You guys that are on the line, stay right there. We'll catch you all off the air. And I just want to remind you all the number 1 problem in America for 100% of us is getting enough minerals. And here's the least expensive, most convenient, easiest way to do it. Our Coral Calcium Powder. Boy, is this nutrition that really works. And I use this every single day. And you can just watch it fix that first morning urine pH. And when that first morning urine pH is 6,470, you've got a body that's going to stick around for a while, and it's going to be healthy. And if you're on the road, our Coral Calcium Plus. If you're osteopenic, need a little bit more help, Coral Calcium Plus. Give a buzz to our order line, 800-370-3447. That's 800-370-3447. God bless you all. Bye for now.
Dr. Marshall's comments have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Thanks for tuning in to the Quantum Legacy series, your journey into the foundations of clean, quantum state nutrition. While these broadcasts were originally aired years ago, the principles shared still guide us at Quantum Nutrition Labs today. Please note, any offers or pricing mentioned may no longer be valid. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd be grateful if you subscribed, left a review, or shared this podcast with someone who values natural health. Your support helps us keep the legacy alive. To learn more about our current products and mission, visit qnlabs.com. Until next time, be well and stay connected to nature.